Hello, everyone. Sorry, voice is funky. Um, it is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it is Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. because I was not able to go live last night. So we are moving it to tonight, and I've got some Christmas cards that are fun folds to share with you tonight. So I'm excited about that. Also, after you see the cards, if you're interested in the measurements, there's a link in the description below that will take you to a PDF that gives you the measurements for those cards. But let's talk about these cards first, right? Because these cards are created with the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. And for this is my at-home class for this month, my Creativity Delivered class. You receive a full package of the Peaceful Garden Designer paper, a full package of the beautiful ribbon here, the Misty Moonlight and Silver Edged ribbon. And you also will receive a half a pack of the Opal Rounds, which is what I used on several of the cards. So the cost is $35. It's a 4-card class, but you get enough supplies to make 2 of each, plus all those extra product goodies. And registration is still open. The link for that is below in the comments as well. So make sure you're grabbing that because I think that registration closes this weekend. Okay, so I want to get them out to you before the end of the month so you have a couple weeks to make them and use them. Or you can make them for next year. Or you can change out the greetings and they can be any kind of occasion card, right? So it doesn't have to be Christmas cards. They're just gorgeous. And then also just a reminder, this is the Just Cards class for this month with a minimum $45 product purchase before or after, I should say, after any discounts or rewards are used or anything like that. It has to be $45 in product that you're purchasing. Um, and before your shipping and handling is added, you earn this class for free, right? So if you're long distance, we do ask for $5 to help get that in the mail to you. Helps to cover postage and some of our mailing costs. And you get a PDF that is emailed to you and all the supplies that you need to create these 5 cards. And you'll see there's some Christmas cards in there too. All right, so those are the 2 things I have going on. I also have Stamp Camp if you're local to us. Stamp Camp is home decor projects for the holidays. So there's a beautiful candle that we're going to be making, a couple different wall hangings, some frame art, and it's always a very popular class. There are a few spots left for that. I think there's at least 2 spots, maybe 3. So if you're interested in that, make sure you get signed up for that. You can find information on that over on my Facebook page. All right. So, like I said, we are going to play with some fun folds tonight. And the first one that we're going to do is the bookbinding card. Okay. And this was actually inspired, if you will, by one of the club cards that we did this month in my clubs, obviously. So this was a fall themed card. I turned this one into a Christmas card, but basically used the exact same layout, the exact same measurements, etc. And again, if you're looking for the measurements, the PDF is going to be below in the description field. So let me grab the bag of goodies that we're going to need for this. Hey, Sharon Rowland. I was thinking I was here by myself. I know I messed everybody up by changing the date out or the night out, right? All right. So this is a standard book binding. We're just going to do a little creasing of those score lines. This is actually the Gathering Moments designer series paper, but I love the gold accents and the white background. So I decided to just carry it forward onto a Christmas card. We're going to have a layer of Secret C behind that because even though this looks black to my eyes, I am assured that it is Secret C in the designer paper. So we're going to grab that. Somebody walked off with my adhesives. So I did test the PDF that's linked below. Um, but if you have any problems, let me know. It should download for you. It did for me. I'm going to pop that on there. And then I have another piece of Secrecy that's going to go in the bookbinding section. And I couldn't decide. So here's our ornament. Oh, that would be fun too. We could change this whole thing up just by what we do here. I'm looking for my ornament topper because I know I had it, but I'm not seeing it now. I might have to come back and do that later. I love when I package things and I know it's in there because I specifically look for it. And then when I go live, it's not. I still think I like this side for our ornament, right? So there'll be a little topper up there just like there is here. But do we want to go with this side, which kind of pulls in the red on there, or stay with our green? If you are watching, leave me a comment about which side you think we should use. What do you think, Sharon? Looks like you may be the only one watching tonight. Well, I have to say, I think I like the green, even though the red does pull that together. I don't know. We'll do one of each. How about that? We'll do one of each. So that's the fun thing when you're using our double-sided designer series paper from Stampin' Up, because you have options as you're creating. But if I do this, I may not put the ribbon on there. We'll see what we think here in a minute. I am going to go ahead and grab some dimensionals. I'll put that topper back on later so I don't take time to dig out gold foil. Let's hope we don't need too many dimensionals tonight because apparently I have blown through them. You like the red? Well, there we go. We were thinking alike, right? I know that DSP is gorgeous, isn't it? All right, so we're going to go ahead and mount this. And I really don't think I want to pull this ribbon in, but let's see. What do we think? Now, I haven't sealed the book binding on the inside yet so that I could wrap my ribbon around here. We're just going to crisscross it right now and say yes or no to the ribbon. It is pretty because it pulls the gold in, but then you don't see as much of that DSP, right? All right, that's the next vote. Tell me if you want ribbon or no ribbon. In the meantime, I went ahead and I stamped our inside greeting. That is from the Words for the Season. That's one of my favorite greeting sets this year. This is going to go on the inside of our card. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think no ribbon. No ribbon. The red is too pretty. It needed it on the old olive side, but I don't think it needs. Secrecy paper tears like nobody's business. Little short strips is your best solution there. And there we go. That's our insides. We're going to go ahead and seal this up since we're opting for no ribbon on this version. And I still think this is going to be my side for the design. And again, I'll cut that topper. I don't know what happened to it. I made sure it was in the bag. It's not in the bag. And it's not laying on my table anywhere. So, as a friend of mine used to say, the darn elf got me again. We're using up edges tonight of our design or of our dimensionals. The plaid is really pretty though too, and it's fun, traditional Christmas, right? All right. I think we got them all off. I'm gonna put that right there, so I'm sure I have room for the topper. And then this was my first play with this product. Hey, Carol, how are you? So this is the hybrid Christmas words collage die, which coordinates, of course, with the Christmas words hybrid embossing folder. So if you've not played with these before, let me just show you real quick. Um, it's usually the side that has the Stampin' Up logo on it. And you will bring this in and it will, for lack of a better word, it will lock into place. Now I am really pushing and it is not moving because it is locked around those raised images. And then you would just lay your cardstock in there. I'm just grabbing a piece of scrap that's beside me. You can do a piece, you can do a section, you can do the whole thing and then have them cut in advance. But then you run it through just like you would a 3D embossing folder. So just the platform and the embossing folder with the die in it, and then the specialty plate, the gray or the blue plate on the top. That's how you run it through. And it will cut out your words for you. So then I just mounted it to a regular piece of Secret C and did some fussy cutting around it to get just that little Secret C border edge around the 'Tis the Season. Okay. But these are fun, and we have a couple different ones out there right now. Names are escaping me, but it's a great way to get a lot of greetings all at one time, too. All right, so that's how I got my greeting. And we're going to go ahead and put that on. We're going to add adhesive on the left side because I'm going to overlap the ornament. But then on the right side, we're going to grab a little bit of these dimensionals and pop them on here, since that will be falling off of the ornament. And we want everything to be even across there. So there we go. Pretend that topper is there. We decided no ribbon on this one. But book bindings are quick and easy and fun, and it depends on how many layers you want to do. I obviously put the Secret C on the inside as well. You would not have to do that, but I think it makes the card more cohesive if you've done the same layering on the inside as you've done on the outside. Okay, so there we go. There is our bookbinding card. Easy peasy fun fold. We've done that one together before. Let me clean up a little bit. I almost threw all the scraps from the dimensionals into my drawer because it was open. So of course that must be where they belong, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, this one we actually did in my club. I don't know if there's a technical term or not. But I call it the split front, right? Because we're going to cut it so that the front is split, and then we have our greetings on the inside. All right. So again, I use the traditional Christmas. That's where the plaid comes from. I may have forgotten to tell you, this is 1 3/4. So when you cut the piece off, right, you're going to score it at 5.5, and then you're going to cut it 1 3/4. Then you're just going to cut that piece that you remove 1 3/4 piece for down here at the bottom. So we have the attachment to the back of the focal image. Okay. I might not have put that in the directions. I might go back and edit that. I was trying something new tonight. I had not played with Dropbox. I think I did years ago at work, but it was a long time ago. So I wanted to make sure it would allow you to get in there from YouTube. So now I have a sneaky way to get some PDFs in there from time to time. So one of these layers is going to need the real red behind it, which, as I said, we just cut that off of what we removed from the front flap. Okay. So this one I can lay aside for the moment. This I'm going to go ahead and mount to what's left of the front. Then this is going to go down here when we're ready for it. I'm going to go ahead and mount the Mossy Meadow layer. This is a 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And again, that is in the attached PDF that you can download. We're going to layer that in there. We're going to work on the focal image next. I'm going to go ahead and put these layers together. Lots of layers on this card. And all very traditional Christmas, right? There we go. Okay, we're going to bring this in, see if I have a piece of scrap, because I know I'm going to. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them. That's awesome. All right. Let's grab our Mossy Meadow ink and our tree. Now I am using, that's what I'm using, all right. I'm using pine tree trimmings. And truth be told, I just got this bundle. Hello, Miss Debbie. I don't know. I had looked at it. I thought it was cute, but I wasn't sure I needed it. But it was a really reasonable bundle. I think it was like $35, $34.95, something like that. And I do like the pine trees. I like the words going up and down. I'm always a sucker for vertical words. 'Tis the season. Oh, Christmas tree. That's fun. And then the dies, it's a very small package of dies, which I love because they fit very nicely into the stamp case, right? But you get the packages, the bow, the trim for the tree, and the star. And you really don't need much else with this set. So it's kind of a nice value. Because I know sometimes our bundles are, pushing $60. So this one was much more reasonable and it has really some cute images in it. All right, grab the tree. So this tree does have a stem on it, but I'm going to stamp it low enough, hopefully on the paper, that I'm not going to have that stem. So I'm going to do this full strength first and try to hit the middle as best I can. And I'm going to bring it down here nice and low. And then I'm going to it's already off stamp because I've done that one full strength, right? So we're going to drop that one a little bit lower and do an off stamp there, and do the same thing here, even maybe a little bit lower. So there's our trees with our main focal image in the center. Oh, don't close that yet. We're going to stamp a Christmas tree across the top. Bring this down here a little bit. Hopefully that keeps me on camera. The further away I stamp from myself, the more likely it is I'm going to be crooked. There we go. And we'll grab our gold stars out a while. Let's go ahead and mount this. So that off stamping is called generational stamping or off stamping or two-step stamping. It has lots of terms for that technique, but it is great when you're trying to build the image of a forest, if you will. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this together. We're going to align the bottom edge of the card with the bottom edge of this separate piece. Sides and bottom get aligned. And we're going to put adhesive at the top and the bottom of the focal image. And I'm not putting a ton. I don't need a ton. but I also don't want to go too far down that let's not put it upside down either. Not that I haven't done such a thing. You don't have to tell me if you have. I'll be honest, I have. Okay. So now we're attached. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to actually adhere it, I'm going to be brave. We're going to lay the greeting insert on the inside. Okay, just like that. I'm going to grab the From Our House to Yours, and we're going to stamp that in real red. Hey, Deborah, hello. Welcome, welcome. I love England. I've been fortunate enough to be there a few times back in the day when I was working a crazy full-time job and traveling all over the world. Thanks for watching. Okay, From Our House to Yours, tried to center it as best I could. Ah, Debbie Franklin. That'll do it. Let's go ahead before Lori forgets and mount our gold foil star to our tree. Now you can use liquid glue, you can use your seal, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do a dab with my liquid glue at the top of my tree. Maybe. I said that so confidently, didn't I? There it comes. And I don't need a lot because it's just a small star. One of these days, I'm honestly going to get that glue press out that I got last year for Christmas. Do not tell my brother. We're doing our annual Christmas shopping trek on Monday. And then I'm going to be at the Nest in Gettysburg starting Tuesday afternoon, probably until Friday morning. Okay. So now we've got that part done. We're just going to stamp the other part. And since I'm already working with it loose, I'm going to continue because then if I mess up, I can flip it over. Can you see the cat hair on my ink pad? That is never good news. So I'll be dealing with that later. That is the risk of having 3 cats. They are everywhere. All right, so this one I'm going to put over here on the side so that it's hopefully behind our trees. And it is crooked as sin. Okay, we're going to try that again. I'm still working a full-time job. Of course, I mean, not really. I mean, I work this full-time and now I have the retreat house. But no, the full-time job I was talking about, it was many, many years ago. If anybody's ever heard, and it hasn't been around for a lot of years, I know, in the form that it was, Book of the Month Club. I worked there for 19 years. Loved, loved, loved every minute of it. Had some amazing early bosses, and that looks a little straighter. And got to travel quite a bit because we did a lot of when we merged with Bertelsmann, we did a lot of leadership conferences and things like that, presentations, etc. So that's the full-time job I was talking about. Okay, there we go. Now I think I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and mount. See, I did jinx myself when I said that's the reason I'm not mounting it. But it does give you flexibility when you need it. And there we go. There's our split front card. What do you think of that one? All right. Move some inky stamps. Yes, I am. Well, I haven't looked. I might. I may have hit it. I don't know if anybody put an order in today or not. But as of this morning, I was $108.01 away from hitting my million in sales to Stampin' Up. So it has been quite a journey with them. I signed up for the discount. You've heard me say that if you watch me regularly. I signed up for the discount a little over 22 years ago, never intending to do a workshop, a party, a class, have stamp clubs, have a team, go live on any medium. And here we are. Okay. All right. So we had two traditional with red and green. Do we want another traditional or do you want something a little non-traditional? You get to pick because I have two different ones prepared. I'm going to take a sip of water while you let me know. Probably can move that out of the way. Traditional. I see one traditional. Anybody else got a vote? I'll show you the opposite one at the end anyway, but all right, nobody's voting. I'm going to go with traditional. This is on the PDF below if you're going to download that for the measurements. This is the second split front card. So the one in the middle is the card that we just did with the Christmas trees. And then the next one over, the last one on the right side of the page, also says split front. I should have said gatefold or something like that. I apologize, but just in case you're wondering. But here we go. So the belly band comes off and then it opens up like this. And you could even put pattern paper on the inside. I didn't this time, but you absolutely could. Okay, we got two traditionals. Good. That's what we're doing then. So this is the Christmas tags and more, or Christmas. Yeah, I think it's Christmas tags and more, the 6x6 paper. That is, I think, I didn't look this morning to be honest, but I believe it still may be out of stock, but it's supposed to be coming in later this month. The 17th, I think, is the date I saw. And again, you're going to have all the measurements for this in that PDF down in the description, so you can grab that. But I've already scored it. Don't ask me what the score lines are, but I can tell you quick. But again, it's in that PDF. Looks like 1 1/4 and then 3 3/8. And I cheated. I did it on one side, then I flipped it around and I did it on the other side. So I think the measurements give you going the whole way across, but for me, it just made sure it was going to work if I did it that way. So you can do it either way. And then we're going to grab some layers. And that needs to be trimmed down, and that needs to be trimmed down. Because these are, I bet I reversed these. Let me just double check myself here. It was a long day. No, I did not. I just didn't cut these right. It was a long day in the studio today, I'll tell you. I'm trying to get, I've got 1, 2, 3 classes running plus stamp camp. So I am a busy girl. Let's see if that works now. Almost. Almost worked. I just did one wrong. For whatever reason, I didn't cut it down. Who knows? The phone might have rung, the security system might have gone off. It's been a fun day. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. So traditional plaid, yep, on one side, and then the lighter green on the other. See if I can get any goop off. Oh, that's pretty goop free. Normally I have a lot of adhesive at the nose of the applicator, but not this time. There's one. These are going to fit inside here, just like this. And I don't want quite that big bold red showing, so you can figure out your patterns. And if you want to hide something, hide it in behind the additional front flap. And then I already did these two strips. So we're going to put these on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and mount all of that. This was a new gatefold for me. I'm used to the regular gatefold, so this has an extra little flair to it with that smaller section folding back on itself. I might as well do both on one side while I'm here. And repeat on the other side. My phone is blowing up, so someone's trying to get to me. I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way on this paper. I just look to see what's pointing up, which is if it's a pointing up more or pointing down more, and that's the way I go with it. Okay. And then I have a layer of green and a layer of red, staying very traditional for all three of our cards tonight. The picture that will go up will have the non-traditional version of this in it. And then this, of course, was one of the sections from the Christmas tags and more, the candy canes, and then I took the stockings for this one. So easy. Cool, fun fold, but easy to put together because really it's just layering your designer series papers and using that same paper pack for your focal image. You could also use like the ornaments that are part of the die cuts in there. Now we're going to bring in a piece of a strip of garden green, and we're just going to use a little bit of our, oh my goodness, they really are wanting me. Hopefully it's not my renters this weekend. Okay, we've got that. We're going to wrap this around. Again, the measurements are going to be in the PDF below if you need them. I did pre-score the belly band. And then I'm going to use tear and tape on here as well, just because you're going to be taking it on and off. And we want a strong adhesive to make sure it stays in place, right? I give it a little extra rub so it adheres well. And sometimes, although not always, as you can see, that helps. Nope, not this time. That helps get it off, get the backing off. This is not. What I'm using now is from the 6x6 Christmas tags and more, I think it's called. I'll grab it here in a second. Because I have a whole bunch of them because I have an in-person Christmas card class that I'm doing next week. Yeah, next weekend. And part of what they get in that class is that paper. So let me show you what I'm talking about. It is Christmas tags and more, 6x6. And it's this one that has, I think you get 8 sheets. There's some die cuts in there that you get. I think there's 4 sheets of those. There's the plaid, the ornaments, more plaid, and that piece. And I'll actually show you, because they're laying here, I believe. Yeah. So they're going to get half a pack of that paper. They're going to get 2 yards of the shiny ribbon, a pack of the old pretty festive pearls because I bought a whole bunch of those before they went away. And then these are the cards that they're going to be making with those products. So that one doesn't have any of that product in it, but these three do. So that'll be fun. If you're local, there's still room in that class. Let me know if you want to attend. I didn't design that to be a to-go class, but if you like the designs, and I have any left over, we can certainly look at that. All right. So we are going to find, there they are. We are going to find the peppermints. So glad these are still around. You know, the holly berries and pearls are gone. That kind of was sad because I had ordered enough for 2 events and I was ship shorted. And unfortunately, they didn't have any to make it work. Oh, I don't know how you missed that paper. That's good paper. Yeah, that's really good paper. It's really cute. And I love that it's got the die cuts, but I also love that it has these cute little sections, right? Okay, well, there you go. Last I checked, it's supposed to be back in stock November 17th. It's been very popular. Now, somewhere we have to do our inside. And I'm going to bring that same layer of red in there. We're going to stamp in garden green. And this greeting, this Merry Christmas, comes from the Ornamental Christmas. I like the font. I like the size. Carol missed it too. Oh my goodness. Shoot. Oh dear. Oh no, that's the dead one. Like, wait a minute. That's not supposed to look like that. There it is. It's laying right in front of me. Oh my goodness. I was just at the doctor's office this week. I have the worst luck with the medical people in my life. And I love my endo. This is the endocrinologist. I love her. Um, Went for my blood work. Everybody that checked me in, including the girl that went to draw my blood, said, "You're here for your A1C." I'm like, "Yes, perfect." I get to the office, "You didn't have an A1C done." Yes, I did. No, you didn't. I said, "Well, what did I have done?" She said, "Well, they did a cortisol test." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So now I have to go back and have A1C done, and I have to have a second step of a cortisol test. And oh my goodness. So there we go. How cute are these? 2 different of those papers. Well, one was the plaid, and then I used 2 different for the focals. Aren't they cute? All right, do you want to see the non-traditional before I bring everything back in? I can't decide which one of those I like better. I'm a sucker for candy canes, but I'm also a sucker for Christmas stockings because my mom made all our Christmas stockings. She knitted them. Let's bring these back in. So here is our split front. This is, as you look at the paperwork from left to right, it's going to be bookbinding, this split front, and then this split front. Why I call them the same thing, I have no idea. But this is really cute, I think. Okay. And then this was the one we did together. It's missing its ornament topper, but we will get one on there. And here's the one that I designed ahead of time. So you can kind of see the difference in the 2 designer papers. I was hoping we still had gold thread, but we don't. Oh, good. I'm glad you did that. That's awesome. So we got a couple different ones there. All right, I'm going to show you this. Maybe I should keep it and just do it at do some tradition, some of these. But this is the modern Christmas, right? Which I'm having a bit of a struggle with the black and white. And I love black and white, not necessarily for Christmas. But we did the gold star. I'm trying to figure out something I can put in the center of the gold star. So for right now, it's a little naked. I embossed the circle with the new beautiful pattern embossing folder. So that was fun. I know it doesn't show up well on camera. And then same thing on the inside, we just did the Merry Christmas. I used Memento. I haven't stamped in Memento most of this season. It's kind of funny. But there you go. That was the non-traditional version of this fun card. All right, now I can't see what's on camera, so let me try to adjust my camera. So there's a whole slew of Christmas cards done, and it didn't take long at all. If you do have any problems with downloading the PDF in the description, let me know. But you shouldn't. We tested it, and it seemed to work just fine. Thanks so much for bearing with me. I know my schedule's crazy, and truthfully, once we achieve the goal, if you will, I'm going to look at everything in my schedule, and I'm sure I'll be making some changes. It is time. I love everything I do and I love hanging out with you guys, but it is time for me to try to balance my life a little bit better. So we'll be looking at what the schedule looks like for our lives going forward, probably after the first of the year. You can't do black anything for Christmas. I know, right? It's just kind of strange. But anyway. All right, gang. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you're watching after the fact, I appreciate that as well. If you like the projects, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a follower, please ring the bell so you'll get notified when I'm live. Have a fabulous rest of your week. And the plan is I will be back Sunday night. Yeah, I'll be okay at 8. I'll be okay at 8. So Sunday night at 8, we'll be back and we'll do some more fun cards. All right, everybody, take care. Have a safe rest of your week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.